Observation Documentation, Curriculum and Assessment by Kiana Scrutches. The purpose of this PowerPoint is to show the documentation of child observation. This PowerPoint will introduce you to things that your child should be doing by a certain age. Gross motor skills, the child's ability to use large muscles. The child is painting in the picture. It looks like he is painting patterns. I see squares. The child is painting blocks and lines. Painting is helping his decision-making skills. He's holding the brush, which is developing his large gross motor skills, and he's developing hand-eye coordination. The standards for this would be he's using hand-eye coordination to manipulate small objects with ease, and he demonstrates gross motor skills, coordinates movements to perform more complex tasks. Gross motor skills, part 2. The teacher can add finger painting to support the child's gross motor skills. I would add books so that the child could look at the books and paint whatever that he sees instead of painting the basics, which is like a sun, a house, a child playing outside. So it stretches their imagination and it stretches like how they are feeling, what they feel from the book, and they'll just paint it. And the cognitive learning thinking problem solving was he copies triangle and other geometric shapes. Well, he didn't copy a triangle, but he did do the squares, and he made the blocks. Fine motor skills, the ability to use small muscles in the hands and fingers. Okay, so the child appears to be focused. Looks like he's practicing his shapes and building. The blocks teaching him about symmetry. He is using his fine motor skills because he's picking up the blocks, and he appears to have really good body control. He's standing there, he looks very focused, and the standards he is using is fine motor tasks that require small muscle strength and control. He's using hand-eye coordination to manipulate small objects with ease. Fine motor skills, part 2. The teachers can make a fine motor skills a daily routine in the classroom. The more practice, the more they will develop the skill. So he's picking up those small things. He will become very good at it. He'll be able to pick up even smaller objects that he sees. And I would add a picture and blocks so that the child can recreate the picture, because he'll be having to, stack the blocks up and, just recreate the picture. It has his mind thinking, and it's good for his memory as well. And the things that he did that was on the checklist was, it appeared that he would be able to name the colors and numbers because, he has the red and he has the yellow, so I'm sure he would know the colors. He understands the idea of same and different because there are the yellows are the different shapes than the red, and the red are different shapes than the blue, so he understands that. And I checked that he can do board games and card games, because that is like a board game. You're just matching it up, and he looks like he's doing very well. Cognitive development, the ability to learn and solve problems. So in this picture, the child is sorting the colors and he's doing problem solving. He's increasing his understanding of size, shape, and texture. Those are the little not cotton balls, but they're really soft. The child is matching the colors. It's a good color matching game. And the standard he used, he matches 2 equal sets using 1-to-1 correspondence and understands they are the same. Compares objects using 2 or more, such as length, weight, and size, and sorts and classifies objects using 1 or more or relationships. Cognitive development, part 2. The teacher can add colored shapes, and once the shapes are added, she can ask the child to place the circle inside of each color that there is. Like she could say, place the green circle in the blue color, she can say things like that. Color matching cards are great for the center. You can have the child pick up a card, and some of the cards may have a cat, some of the cards may even have people. You can have the cat you can have the child count the legs of the cats. So you're helping with not just cognitive development, but language development as well. And so off the developmental checklist, I put that he begins to sort shapes and colors. because he's doing his shapes and colors and follows 2 steps instructions. And I say that because I'm sure the teacher said, well, pick the color and then put the color in the correct color, if that makes sense. Language, the ability to understand and use language. The child it looks like she's reading the book. She is pointing to each word as she reads. She's holding the book correctly, and it appears that she is concentrating. Now, the standards for that would be connecting new vocabulary from activity stories and or books with prior experiences and conversations. And she's independently holding a book right side up and turn pages from right to left. Language Part 2. The teacher can have the child read the same book or books by the same author so that they can understand the rhythm of flow of the book. Dr. Seuss books are great for this. Dr. Seuss, he has rhyming books. So it's the same flow, so you're getting it, and the children are learning rhyming words, and they're learning how to read the book. They're catching the rhythm of the book. And the teacher should also make sure that the child is reading from left to right. The materials I would add would be pencils, crayons, and construction papers. These materials allow the children to express what they read in the book. They can even create a picture and tell you a story about what it is that they created. So they're coming up with stories. That's very good for language, and they're confident. It's their picture, so they're telling you what's going on. You don't even know what's going on because sometimes we don't know what it is that the kids are drawing or painting. And so the language communication, I put speaks very clearly. It appears that she would because she's bigger and she's holding the book correctly and everything. So I said that, and tells a simple story using full sentences. Social emotional development, the ability to interact with others. So here we have the children sliding, and they are taking turns going down the slide. They're not pushing each other. The girl in the pink jacket, she appears to be extremely happy. Like, she just cannot wait to go down the slide. The things I used here was they are showing independence in his or her choices. The kids act and move with purpose and independently recognizes differences in direction, distance, and location. They are all going down the slide the correct way. No one is climbing up the slide or anything, so they know the direction of where they are going. Social emotional part 2. Teachers promote social and emotional development by creating trusting relationships. While children are sliding, the teacher should be smiling and telling the children good job. She should be interacting with them like, oh, Katie, look at you, go down the slide, good job, you went down the slide right. Just making that relationship for the kids, making them feel good and as if she cares. And I would add a small trampoline, and that would be for the children to, like, as soon as they slide off the trampoline, they can go bounce on, slide off the trampoline. As soon as they slide down the slide, they can go and bounce on the trampoline, and they can say their ABCs or either count, which is good for language, and they're playing and they're learning at the same time. And jumping on the trampoline, you're supporting their balance, and concentrating helps the children to learn and improve their motor skills and their social development. And jumping also increases the children's confidence. So the social emotion that I checked off was copies adults and friends, shows affection for friends without prompting, take turns in games, shows a wide range of emotions. Self-help, the ability to independently do things on your own. So here it looks as the children are sitting around, and there's one helper. We're going to call him the helper, the guy in the red shirt who is passing. Oh, him and the other guy have the same shirt on. Okay, he is passing out drumsticks. The children are waiting to receive their drumsticks, and the child passing the drumsticks are out. The child is the teacher's helper. And the standards I say was initiates new tasks by himself and shows emerging respect for peers, personal space, and belongings. Self-help part 2. Instead of the teacher having someone pass out the drumsticks, she can have them get their own individually. So she can call them up one by one, to see who's going to do the right thing, who's going to do exactly what she says. Hey, come up, get your drumsticks, and go right back to your seat. Some kids, they like to wander off, they like to mess with other children, but she can test them by seeing who will listen and who will do the right thing. So I feel like other musical instruments should be added for the children to play. Playing instruments makes you use both sides of your brain and enhances verbal memory and literacy skills. Social emotional checklist was the kid wants to please his friends. He wants to pass out the drumsticks and be nice to them. He's most likely to agree with rules. He is the helper, so I'm sure he's a helper for a reason, and shows more independence. He's showing that he can pass out the things without any problems or anything like that. And here are the references. And if you feel that your child may be delayed, do not hesitate to mention it to your child's doctor. Also, you can contact www.cdc-gov/concern or call 1-800-CDC-INFO. That's 1-800-232-4636. Thank you.